Starting a remodeling project can be tricky. Unexpected costs, unreliable contractors, and delays popping up when you least expect them. In this video, I'll show you everything you need to look out for before you start your remodel and some unexpected things to look out for during your remodel. Let's dive in. My name is Marc Devisse. Welcome back to the Tri-Town Construction channel, where we are rebuilding Southwest Florida one home at a time. When you're remodeling, first thing is an assessment of your needs. What do you want done in this project? Clearly defining the scope of work really allows you to get accurate budgeting, accurate pricing from contractors, and to really try to stay within a budget. The more uncertainty in a project, the more chance of it to go awry. So ideally, you have a checklist of everything that needs to be done, and it's very easy to check off those items. And was it done? Yes or no? Setting realistic expectations is important. There is a lot that goes in between. So living in the house during a remodel is not fun. No matter how clean the contractor is, there's going to be dust, there's demolition, there's cutting, there's noise. If it's possible to move out during the remodel or before you move in, if it's a real estate transaction, that is much preferred for everybody. The job goes quicker, the job is cleaner, and the homeowner is much happier in the end. When dealing with remodeling, budgeting and financing is always a concern. Always keep in mind with remodeling, there is some uncertainty of what's behind those walls. What are we going to find behind that bathroom wall that's 20 years old? Is there going to be some wire that's no longer allowed, some plumbing that's no longer allowed, rotted wood or mold? We do find a lot of mold in bathrooms, older bathrooms. There's been a slow leak in the wall, and behind it now there's rotted wood or mold. These cost money that are unexpected. So you want to have a 10 to 20% cushion in your budget for unexpected items like that. Hey, if they don't happen, that's great, but you're ready for it in case it does. When it comes to remodeling, choosing the right contractor is vital. You're going to have somebody in your home for 3, 6, 9 months remodeling and in there every day. So make sure you get along with this person, make sure that they are reputable. Go look at their office. How do they keep their office? Is it clean or is it a mess? If it's a mess, do you think that your home's going to be a mess? Make sure you do your due diligence. Remodeling is very emotional. You could have your bathroom, your shower, or your kitchen for a long time. You could have a lot of memories there, and you're going to have a contractor come in there and tear it up. And it's going to be messy. It's going to be loud. There's going to be emotion involved. Make sure you've selected the right contractor who's going to respect and understand that this is a process. This is not before and after. This is a process of remodeling, and it's important that it's an enjoyable process. Some red flags to look out for when hiring a contractor is not being in the area long, not having other jobs you can look at, not wanting to pull permits. That is the big one. There's high pressure, there's a problem. There's no need for high pressure. This is a relationship that we're building. If you feel like you're pressured in any time, that's a red flag sign. Make sure you get a copy of their insurance and license. You know, these are minimum requirements. If you don't have that, that's a huge red flag. And just because you have that doesn't make you a good contractor. There is a lot more that goes into just the licensing and the insurance. Again, those are minimum requirements. Make sure you're Googling, make sure you're using the state website for licensing to see if there's any complaints or issues. Each one of these is not a red flag or a disqualifier on its own, but when you start adding a few of these up, you should be more and more worried or more and more cautious. Pre-planning for a remodel is vital. The more pre-planning that you have, the more selections done, the more plan of action done prior to that first hammer swinging is going to make the project go so much more smoothly. The less uncertainty in the job, the cleaner, the quicker it goes. So the more you can get that out of the way up front, the better. That comes with a clear, defined scope of work and contract from your contractor. I would never accept a contract that said, we will remodel your bathroom. No, it needs to say, we will remove the bathtub, we will replace the bathtub, we will remove all the cabinetry, we will replace the cabinetry. What exactly are they doing? Remodeling a bathroom to me could be totally different to that meaning to you. So make sure that you have detailed contract, specific contract, and the scope of work is agreed upon, almost like a checklist. If you can get it down to a checklist, was this done, was this done, it makes the job easy to deal with. The larger the job, but even small bathroom remodels require a permit and they require outside inspections. So if your contractor ever says, hey, we don't need a permit, red flag. Make sure that you do your due diligence and understand why you wouldn't need a permit. Permits are there to protect the homeowners. They have outside inspection agencies that come in, make sure the work was done to today's code. Codes are changing all the time, especially in our area with hurricanes, anything electrical, plumbing, AC. You want to make sure that you have an outside inspector making sure that the scope of work is done correctly. A lot could go wrong. House fires with electrical, flooding with plumbing. You don't want to have your brand new home remodeled and then the plumber or somebody forgot to tighten the water pipe and now your whole home's flooded. Just be careful. When unlicensed usually means uninsured. So if that does happen, and it happens with licensed contractors too, okay? So plumbers, licensed or not, make mistakes. The difference is with the licensed plumber, they have insurance. And if the home floods after they did their work, their policies likely cover it. With the unlicensed contractor, you're on your own. Your homeowner's insurance may even deny you because they're going to want to know who did the work. And if they can't collect from them, they're probably going to collect from you. So just be careful when you're hiring someone. Make sure they have insurance, make sure they're licensed. Accidents do happen. It's just how you handle those accidents as the contractor that makes the difference. Another impact of not filing for proper permits is if you ever decide to sell the home, they're going to see the home was built in 1970. There's been no action since 1970. So the home is going to be classified as a 1970 home. But if you're pulling permits on, roofing or interior remodeling, the buyers are going to see that you put money into the home, you've upgraded the home, and you did the work correctly. Or it's more likely that the work was done correctly. So just because you do the work yourself does not exclude you from getting a permit, having those outside inspections done. A timeline in project management, contractors should have a way of keeping you in the loop of what's happening. So ask, how am I going to get an update on what's happening on my job? Are you going to send me a weekly email, or is it just a phone call when I call? Do you have a platform that I can log into to see pictures and updates as in real time? Make sure you're asking how you're going to be kept in the loop. The more in the loop that you are, if there is a change or something happening, you can be involved and catch it before it's too late. So constant communication with your contractor is vital. And anyone who says, you don't need to know, or I got it, don't worry, you should start worrying. If you can't be kept in the loop, there's a reason. Okay, so make sure that you're asking, how am I going to be part of this project? How am I going to see what's going on? And how are we going to communicate? Pre-planning is going to minimize the disruption in your life. During the biggest part of the project, you need to get an Airbnb or second home. A lot of our clients, it's important for communication. We have a system where we upload pictures. Clients can see everything going on with the project wherever they are in the country. But if you're local here in remodeling, minimizing the disruption in your life is very vital and important. So pre-planning helps with that. The more pre-planning that happens, the less time that the home is in disarray. So make sure, measure twice, cut once. That is an old saying for a reason. The more pre-planning that is done, the easier the project will go. No matter how much pre-planning you do, there will always be unexpected issues that arise. With remodeling especially, You can't see what's happening behind the walls without some sort of disruptive or destructive testing. So when you're dealing with remodeling, you want to plan for 10, 20% overage on the initial budget. Things that could happen: mold behind the showers, very common. Rotted wood behind the showers, very common. There could be termite damage that no one's caught, so everything behind the walls is uncertain until the drywall, until those walls start coming down. We've found lead paint, we've found mold many times, right? Between cabinets and the wall, happens often. There are always going to be unexpected issues that could arise that there's just no way to know prior to demolition. So be ready for those. As long as your contractor can justify those, has pictures, can show you what's going on, it shouldn't be a surprise. So once the project is done and the contractor says, hey, I'm done, let's do a final walkthrough, it's important for the contractor and the homeowner to be together, maybe have a little blue tape and walk through the project, show some of the features maybe that are how to use them, and create that final punch list. So you're walking together, you're writing down every item that needs to be corrected. During that time, final inspections with your permitting office are being done. You're getting a certificate of occupation, which means you're legally allowed to move back into the home. The job is complete and all inspections have passed. Some areas have fire inspections, need the fire department out, some don't. We deal with a lot of those in the condo remodeling, multifamily, when you have neighbors and you're sharing walls. The fire department gets involved much more than on a single family home. During that time, you want to talk about warranty. You want to get the warranty book, maybe be able to contact the subs directly. So if your AC goes out for some reason, you can call the AC company that put it in directly. You want to get the contractor's warranty book and just get that final punch out complete and moved into the home. I gave you a great overview of things to look out for when remodeling your home. That's why I filmed an entire series that goes deeper into each one of these topics. Click the video on the screen right now and begin your journey.